Well, hello again, welcome to my channel. I'm going to create or show you how to create watercolours in a basic form for all those of you that are out there that require you know, the pretty basics which everyone needs to learn before they start. I'm going to start off with a how to paint a basic field, sky, a tree, a gateway, just to get you used to mixing colours and allowing the paint to flow on the paper. I'm going to use this, as I always do, my Pink Pig sketching pad, and I've already put a small amount of tape around the outside, but it's not in any way caught it, just a little bit in the corner so it don't curl up. First thing I need to do is, or you need to do, I would hope that you will paint along with this, and you can stop the video obviously at certain points. It's only small, not a large piece, as you can see, piece of paper. Don't need to start on large, work small to start, then expand your papers. Okay, so we're going to have a basic field there, running down into, that's the edge of the field. We're going to have a gateway there, a large tree, and a bit of hedging. And that's as simple as that. And this is all you need, basic pencil work. That will be the gate, or at least the posts. May not put the gate on. I'm going to have a large tree here, just hanging over, and all you need to do is to produce the outside edges of these large trees really, and the trunk work, and the trunk is going to lean slightly in because that just gives that good composition. A little bit of hedging to the right just to hold the eye in. Now I'm going to have 3 sections of hedging, one just overhanging the first gate post, the second one there, and a third taller one there. I think it's nice to have 3, it's a good number. A bit of bank, and of course all you need now is the track, and there is a lot of perspective here. Notice how wide that is, how narrow that is, gives it lovely perspective. We're also going to have it is taken from a scene that I saw in the country in Essex, and it's a farmer's track leading into another field, and in the distance you've got the distant field with a little wooded area, but that will be put in quite simply at a later date. And the field actually is surrounded by a green edging. Presumably the farmer was quite wildlife friendly, so they decided to leave a small patch around the outside, which is good for the wildlife. Okay, now first thing you need to do when you're looking at a subject like this is to paint a sky that balances. Now we're going to have a dark tree there, so any dark clouds, if you want clouds, or certainly any dark areas of blue need to be to the right. Behind the tree needs to be left completely free of any major cloud work. And what I'm going to do is show you how to paint a very simple sky. I'm going to damp the paper. It's a number 10 brush. I always try and use reasonably sized brushes, even on a small, you know, don't play with a very tiny brush. Even that would be a little bit small, that size. So use a reasonable brush. Lay on plenty of water. I know it's warm out there today. I'm in my studio, I've got the lights on, and it is extremely warm. But even during the summer, during the winter, I always use plenty of water, and I'm painting down as far and beyond the distant trees. Going to allow that to soak in for a second while I mix my colour. And the colour, well, we've got to leave white for some clouds, and the clouds I want a slightly warm tone. Don't want to be just pure white. This is a good little tip to start your painting off. So I'm going to use raw sienna with cadmium red, or even vermilion would be fine. It gives a nice sort of orangey yellow, and that will give a lovely feel to the clouds. Where are we going to have those clouds? Well, I'm going to have a patch of blue there. See that lovely colour there? I'm going to have some very light cloud over to the right. Sun is going to come from the left. So, and then we just sweep that through in right over the distant trees. Here we are. Now that you can begin to see the cloud work coming. Now all we really need is the blue. I'm going to use ultramarine for this. Could use cobalt. And going to put a little bit of that red with it. The red you used, just to give it a bit of density, a bit of sort of thickness to the blue. And all you do is just stroke that on there. And if you watch, you can see the clouds actually forming. So that's the first area. A little bit of white there. I'm not going to have too much white running out of picture. And then as we get over to the left, as the paint runs out of the brush runs out of paint, it will become considerably weaker. So I'm just slightly lifting off there. And then obviously in the lower area the clouds are considerably weaker, and they appear a lot smaller too. So the brush strokes need to be smaller. Now a lot of people say to me, well, you know, it doesn't really look much like clouds at the moment. And my answer to that is, look, just leave it, allow that to completely dry, and move on to the next stage. Clouds, you know, they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and far better to just leave it. So the next stage will be quickly to use some of that warm orangey yellow to stroke into the field in the distance and allow the sky to run into that. Right, so that's the field. Notice I'm painting over the hedging and trees. Okay, and the next stage would be the foreground. Now, distance is less intense in colour than the foreground, so I'm going to add, because I've put a raw sienna there to get that first wash into the distant field, I'm going to add to that raw sienna and cadmium red mix a touch of cadmium. Sorry, I used the raw sienna and cadmium red. I'm going to use a touch of cadmium yellow now to introduce that first touches of green in the edging of the field. Right, so that's the bank, that's the centre where the farmer's machinery has not worn away, and then into the field. Well, it's going to be a summer scene, but we're not going to elaborate too much on that, so I'm just using burnt sienna just to give a warm glow to the field. There we go, and let that run into it. Start off, whatever you do one side, do the other, so you work at the same level. So if you change colour, you're actually moving at that same level. And even run it across the greenery, because that may be needed to touch later. And then to that burnt sienna in the foreground, I'm going to add a little bit of ultramarine, a little bit of the blue we used, just to deepen that, just a touch. And that really gives us that the ultimate feel of a bit more depth into the foreground. Okay, now all I need to do now is to just leave that to dry. So that is the first stage, to paint a simple sky, a field in the distance, foreground. Just put the land on, really. So do the land first, the actual what any object will sit on, then we do need to allow that to completely dry. So that's the how to paint a basic sky and a ground landscape to start. That's purely how to start. Okay, well, my next video will be the next stage. Thank you for watching.